my family dying in a car accident because of a sandstorm. There's no rhyme or it's just chaos. And it's up to you to make it mean what it means. And what makes life even weirder is the car crash that affected my family will mean something different for me than it will for my other brother, my sister, my parents, my in-laws, Courtney's friends, my kids' friends. Like, it'll hit and impact and how our eyes perceive it. It's all going to hit us a little bit differently and how we respond to it. And so what I've kind of convinced myself of is I'm in control of what what the death of my family means. Like, how I respond to it is going to make it what it means. And I found a lot of beauty in that idea. I have. And it's an idea that motivates me. It's also a terrifying idea. Like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself. Like, I have to make this awful thing mean something. Like, that's hard to do instead of different ways you can handle it, I think. So that's kind of something that, it's either that or I just lay in bed, like, just being sad and mad about things I can't control and thinking about the future we won't have or the past that we did have and just living in that form of denial, which I think it needs to be talked about because I think those emotions need to be respected, but it's not helping my son. It's not benefiting anyone being stuck in that mentality for too long, even though I do think it deserves to be said and talked about and respected.
What was your life spiritual journey before the crash and after the crash?
Oh, I was very much Christian. Pray to God every night, every morning. Bless my greasy cheeseburger and large Coke. That'll health and strengthen my body type of mentality. Yeah, it's very Christian. And now, not. But I would say I don't know. Like, I just, no one knows when we die. I think a lot of people try to get money and take advantage of people by claiming that they know what happens to us when we die. And I don't like those groups that do that. I think they take advantage of people. But I could flirt with deism. Like, I think that's the most hope I can give you. Like, I could be a deist. I could believe in a God that created everything, but doesn't intervene, like, not an interventional God. So, like, he created this thing, and then he's like, I'm so sorry. It's going to be awful. I have no control over what you guys do. I just create shit and put it into motion. And he's crying and weeping with us. I could get behind that. But this God that intervenes and helps some people and not others, but loves everyone the same, but then will send some to hell, and he knows everything. Like, it just, that type of thinking doesn't help me. It doesn't add up. It just leads to anger. So I think from, like, a religious view, that's kind of where I would label myself. But I just hate putting labels on things like that because I don't know what anyone means when they say I believe in God. That could mean 1,000 different things.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing if someone says I don't believe in God, that could also mean 1,000 different things. So I think it's always scary to try to use labels to describe your whole thought process. The way I try to get through each day, honestly. That's how I see it, is what can we do to get through today? And if we get another one, that's cherry on the top. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with all that stuff, I think.
Yeah, that's helpful to know.
Yeah, and I think it should be rare. Like, I don't know, though. Like, that's the other thing with grief is I don't trust myself at all. Like, I prayed to God, should Courtney be the girl I marry? Yes, was the answer I got. Should we have kids? Yes. Should I take this job? Yes. Should we move here? Yes. Um, and then boom, car accident. So, and I really thought it was true. Like I thought Cordy and I were going to grow old and have grandkids together. And so now when I'm sure of anything, it's just also filled with doubt and just reminding myself that I have no idea. And the last time we were so sure of something, it blew up in our face. So maybe let's just calm down with the being certain of something that no one can be certain of. Yeah, those are some of my thoughts on that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder about two spiritual things. One is if this life on this earth is a vapor, then you are reunited with your family for a much longer time than the shortness of the time without them in the grand perspective of things. Would that feel different in hindsight a long time from now? That's a difficult one to like think through, but it just made that question cross my mind. And then the second one I was just wondering about is like, this is another hard one, but like the greatest individuals that save like a ton of alcoholics' lives are alcoholics, and like the greatest individuals that often save like a bunch of drug addicts' lives were previous drug addicts. And it makes me wonder, just in like a grand scheme, with like what you're doing now and talking about grief and how many people you're helping, if there's like a master plan in there somewhere.
Yeah. I think like it's hard to know where to start this question because I think one of the gifts of losing so much is empathy. So just this ability to like see someone and maybe how they were brought up and raised and why they would think that way instead of just regurgitating what I think is true and I don't want to not be right because that's scary and I don't want to have to change. And so, we just confirmation bias over and over because we don't want to change how we think. And so I understand like believing in God and, child has cancer. That's tough. Like, how do you not tell that kid that there's God and you'll be happy after you die? Like, don't you just want to tell him that? Like, you don't want to tell the parents, like, yeah, this is all there is. And your kid had cancer for all there is. Even though that might be the reality. And so, like, I think fear and not knowing, like, we just create this idea of everything will be fair one day. Like, my family dying in a car crash will one day make sense. Or, we talked about Vogel at the beginning, like the Holocaust. Like, I don't think that's ever going to make sense. That's never going to be okay. Same thing with my family or any story. Like, I don't see there ever being any time ever where I say like, yeah, it makes sense that they died in a sandstorm now. Now, I don't know, like, when you lose a kid, you just kind of want to die. That's like just the feeling of it. Like I should be dead. And so I understand like the desire to take that pain away. Like, let's fix this. Let's not have it hurt so bad. Like, let's create this idea of heaven or whatever. And I don't know if it's just the anger of losing a kid that makes me hate everything. Like, I just hate everything about life. Like, I hate the society we've created, how we talk. I just despise all of it. And part of me feels like going along with it is just betrayal. And I don't know if it's just because I'm just mad at everything. And that might be the case. Like, I'm just mad. And I know that. And I also, from everything we just talked about, like, I can't trust my own emotions anymore. So even though I do feel like, yeah, like, this is probably all we get, I can't trust that. And I just tell myself, like, is that just what I want to believe? Or is that what, I don't know anymore. And one thing that I hate about the society that we built is people act like they know stuff. Like, no one knows anything. And like, the more someone is confident, the more I despise it. Like, I just want to shake him. Like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. No one knows what they're talking about. And of course, that's not true. But that's just the feeling. Like, that's just when people are talking, that's what happens. Like, I just hate all of it. And so maybe I just want to go against it because I just want people to be sad like me. I don't know. That could be true. But from all the feelings I feel, losing a kid and losing a wife, losing a brother, losing a nephew, it doesn't feel good. It never feels like it will feel good in the future. It doesn't feel like it will make sense. It doesn't feel like it's part of it. It's not like they died and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I did a heel click and I'm like, who's coming to the funeral? I wonder who will come. And everything's fine. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And I think some comments that you can easily make that just quickly reveal how our society doesn't make sense, and especially how we talk about grief and trauma, is when someone tells me my kids are in a better place. Like, oh, your kids are in a better place. And I learned this from my friend Colin Campbell. And then what he would tell them is like, well, go home and kill your kids then. And of course, that's not going to happen. That's awful. But this just is a quick way to expose everything. Like, what are you actually even saying? Do you really believe that? Because if so, go kill your kids.
That's crazy.
Like, so what are we actually ever, what is anyone saying ever? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think anyone makes sense when they talk, which is ironic because I barely make any sense when I talk. Like, I'm barely putting sentences together. But at least I see that. Like, and the reason I love my podcast is I just find people like me they just take off the mask and they're like, yeah, this sucks and sad. Yeah.
How long ago was the accident?
So this summer will be 4 years.
And then you had a child that survived.
Blue, man, he's my hero. He's no, like, literally and figuratively my hero. If he didn't survive, I wouldn't be here anymore.